Hi everybody, I am Muertero Chris Muniz, and welcome to my channel. This is my very first video, so if you'll bear with me, it's going to take me a little bit of time to get used to doing this. I would like to start off by explaining to you who I am and what I'm all about, starting with my devotion to La Santísima Muerte. La Santísima Muerte and my devotion to her started about 3 years ago, and it started off with a bit of an interesting thing and situation that happened in my life. I was going through some hardships with, romance and things like that. And I decided, it was time for me to make a kind of change in my life. So I wanted to start working with what I perceived to be as a deity. And the place I was working at the time, my boss, I had mentioned it to her, and she had told me that she had somebody that I would be interested in talking to that knew a little bit more knowledge about this deity that I wanted to, begin working with. So she took me down to the Southside Botanica here in San Antonio, and from that day, it just grew and grew. So I began to learn a lot about her background. I began to learn about her ways of working, uh, what we call, miracle work. She's a milagrosa, she's a miracle worker. And I also came to understand uh, how she falls into the Roman Catholic folk saint traditions. It was something new to me, but yet not so new, considering the fact that I was born and raised a Roman Catholic myself and confirmed in the faith. So dealing with saints is not something new to me whatsoever. However, this was a little bit different, and to top it all off, her iconography was very different. Iconography beginning with the way she looks in general. She's skeletal and she's in a robe. A lot of people confuse her with the Grim Reaper or a Grim Reapress, but in reality, she's not really so much that. A lot of people attribute her also to an Aztec goddess of the underworld known as Mictecaciguatl. Um, it took me a while to kind of figure out all these kinds of things that was going on with having to learn and take in all this knowledge and to figure out what exactly am I going to start doing when I start working with her, because I also had to accept the fact that above all the so-called rules that come along with her, one major one in specific is once you get in working with her and she comes through with something for you, you never turn your back on her. Other things that came along with her were um, just how she can be vindictive sometimes. She'll take people from your family. Uh, to be honest and truthful with you all, in my personal experience, she's never done any of those things. If anything, she has broken down walls of barriers that have been difficult for me to get over and to succeed in life. Like I said before, she is a miracle worker. She does help you in times of need. Um, for people that are more into, I want to say, the witchcraft traditions of things, brujeria, curanderismo, and from what I understand nowadays, Wicca as well, and with some other, how do I say, some other forms of spiritual traditions and workings, people have started to gravitate working with her. She's become very popular, and because of this, I have noticed in my short 3 years of working with her, there's so many different things that you can go about asking her for and how to go about it. Um, but what's really interesting is how she goes from being a Roman Catholic folk saint to now she's pretty much full on the last resort, folk saint for a lot of witches, brujos and brujas, and curanderos and curanderas, healers and shamans. Um, because of the way these people in these particular practices happen to work in their practice with their craft, it falls into how they work with her as well. It's no wonder why they say anybody can go to La Santísima Muerte, because death accepts everybody. That would include your lifestyle, your spiritual practice. I find it also very interesting that people are able to go to her with their spiritual practices, and gravitate to her so easily, so to speak, because just of that fact, she accepts everybody and your background and what you're all about. She does not, you know, throw it in your face about, whether you're straight, gay, lesbian, transgender. It really doesn't matter whether you're from the elite or from, poverty stricken background. Anybody can work with her. She works with anybody because, in the end, as they say, death gets everybody. So, what I would like to do with my channel is to add a little bit more knowledge from my personal experience, and also to gain knowledge from a lot of you out there, as to how you all work with La Santísima Muerte. One thing I've learned from her is she's very much a teacher. She is there to teach everybody and everything about life through her image of death. A very first teaching that she had taught me in her own right was, a lot of people are afraid to work with her being that death energy or the personification of death itself, because she is death. What she taught me about this is that there's nothing to fear about that, because from the time that we are born out of the womb of our mothers into this world, the clock starts ticking. Death is already inevitable. It's just a matter of time. Regardless if you're born with any kind of disease, you get sick in life, whatever it may be that may weaken your immune system. It doesn't matter. From the very moment you're born into this world, the clock starts ticking. So from that moment, you're already kind of born into death, so to speak, but through life. And that's just one of the things that she taught me, to be able to get used to working with her. Because believe me, even though I had started working with her from the beginning, I was still a little shaken up by it. She kind of did freak me out a little bit, but I think that's a little bit normal with everybody. And it's very much like a relationship. When you get into a relationship with somebody, you're excited, but you're also kind of a little nervous because you really don't know what to expect long term with the person. Same goes with her. It's a day by day kind of getting to know each other, and it's very much a relationship. It goes both ways. It goes back and forth. So you give a little, you're going to get a little. A lot of interesting things that I found while working with her in the past 3 years is what they call ofrendas, or offerings. Usually, like I don't want to bring it all the way down to religions, but practices such as santeria, with the santeros and santeras that practice santeria, and the way they honor the orishas, they give ofrendas, or offerings, based on what each orisha likes and learning what they don't like. It's interesting to me how with her, it's very much like that as well. She loves everything. And believe me, I mean everything. She loves wine, she loves cake, she loves music, she loves tequila. She likes everything. She likes jewelry. She just loves attention. It used to be back in the day that people kind of worked with her behind closed doors. They kept her kind of hidden. And I guess I want to say in the past 10 to 15 years, don't quote me on that, I'm not, an expert on this, but she's been brought out to the forefront of, everyday life. It seems like almost anywhere you go, you're starting to see her. One of the first times I ever saw her in this way was in that show, Breaking Bad. I was already kind of working with her then, and I had noticed, like, wow, she's even popping up, she's celebrity now. So it's interesting how popular she's getting. She's in the entertainment industry now, it seems. She's in all walks of life. But in all reality, truth be told, she's just a very beautiful and wonderful person. And I do consider her like a person because, like I said, it's like a relationship. Once you get to know her, once you get to know her energy, she really does come to life in a way. She's more than just like some statue or an idol, you know, or a vessel that you have on your altar. You do begin to experience changes. You do experience rapid miracle workings. You'll see it, you know, come to fruition in front of your eyes. It may not happen all the time right away, but you do see it happen. She's been known to bring back stray lovers. She's been known to keep a family that's falling apart back together. Um, so yeah, these are all things that kind of like drew me towards her, and especially because of things that were going on in my life when I began to work with her. Um, she really helped me out a lot. So anyway, my name is Muertero Chris Muniz, and like I said, this is my channel. I'm very brand new to this, so sorry if this all didn't kind of like make sense. I'm very new to this, but I plan on making some more videos. This is actually a channel that's been a long time in the making. I should have been making videos about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. People had been asking me to do this, and I had just kept on putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And, you know, historically speaking, we're living in a time with this, you know, coronavirus outbreak situation. So with the time that I have on my hands now, which is a lot, I figured why not a better time than now to begin working on this channel. So I hope you all will enjoy some of the videos that I will be bringing to the forefront on this channel. And I'm open to any suggestions as to what we can talk about. The channel is not so much about me as much as it is a channel of the collective of both devotional patrons of La Santísima Muerte and those that are curious or just want some knowledge or some research. There's lots of people out there that are devotees of her and are on YouTube. I mean, it's actually quite a miracle in itself how this particular saint, or folk saint, I should say, has such a plethora of YouTubers. So anyway, that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon.